All right, so, excuse me, boy. Um, this is chapter 9. This is parabolas. So just going to talk really quickly through some of these pictures. So here we have a parabola, and we're used to parabolas, right? Up, down, left, right. There's a couple things added here that we probably haven't talked about in terms of parabolas. One, well, vertex, we have talked about. That's right. Every vertex has, or every parabola has a vertex. And there's also a focus, and that's this fixed point that's inside the parabola. And there's also a directrix. That's this line here. And that's something that's also, and it's the focus and the directrix that actually give the parabola its shape. So you take any point along the parabola, like this point right here, okay, and you draw a line from that point to the focus. So that's what this D sub 2 is. And then you draw from that point down perpendicular to the directrix, and those two, these two lengths are equal. So D sub 2 is equal. If we move to this point here, D sub 1 are equal. If we come out here to this point here, we call this, X sub 2, Y sub 2. And we draw a line straight down here, perpendicular. Let's call that D3. And then we're going to draw this line here from that point to the focus. We'll call this D3. Again, this length, that length, and this length are equal to each other. So all along, all throughout that. So the focus and the directrix give us the shape of our parabola. And then we do have this axis here. Previously, you've probably learned its axis of symmetry. Is typically what it's called. Here it's just axis. And then the thing that we don't see on here, you're going to see more of, another key component, is this distance. The distance from the focus to the vertex is P. And then the distance from the vertex to the directrix is also P. Okay, so so the vertex is halfway between the directrix and the focus. We're going to get to that. So the parabola is a set of all points, X and Y, in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed line. That fixed line is this directrix, and a fixed point, the focus. So it's equidistant, any point on there equidistant from the directrix to a fixed point, the focus, that's not on the line. The midpoint between the focus and the directrix is the vertex, right? And the line passing through the focus and the vertex is the axis of the parabola. So this is the axis of the parabola, or axis of symmetry. All right. Standard form of an equation of a parabola. Standard form, vertex form, you see, whatever you want to call it. So a couple things here. Number one. So these four formulas, these are the okay. And it's really two formulas. It's this formula here, okay, where it's x minus h squared, or this one here. So over here, this is when you have the y equals x squared. That's kind of like the traditional parent formula, okay? This is the one where you have x equals y squared, all right? Now, the difference between like these two is, in this case, p is positive. And you will notice this is 4p, I know, but don't worry about it. But p is positive. So when p is positive, then we have it opening up. So this opens up. When p is negative, then it opens down. And that's when we're talking about a vertical axis. And it's the axis that tells us whether it's a vertical parabola or a horizontal parabola. So in this case, this is vertical. A vertical parabola. Okay. Over here, the axis is horizontal, so this is a horizontal parabola. Okay, because the axis is horizontal. And in this case, if p is positive, then it opens right. And if p is negative, it opens left. And that's because those values, those x values, are are negative, right? If P is negative. Anyway. All right, and we have, again, that distance. So if P is positive, also if P is positive, well, either way, P is always inside the parabola. Again, the directrix is always outside. Okay, vertex. Let's call it the midpoint between the focus and directrix, and it's always on the axis. Okay, focus is a fixed point P units from the center. Oops. Center. I'm not sorry, not the center, the vertex. I'm getting confused here. From the vertex. And it is also on the axis. Directrix is a line that is P units from the vertex. Axis of symmetry, a line that cuts it, line down the middle of the parabola. Okay, it contains, the axis of symmetry contains the vertex and the focus. Okay, they are on that axis of symmetry. P, distance from vertex, I keep saying center, vertex to focus, and from vertex to directrix. Okay, real quick, steps to graph a parabola. These are helpful. Plot the vertex, determine if it's vertical or horizontal. Use the p-value to plot the focus. In the opposite direction, use the p-value to draw the directrix. Again, this is a line. The directrix should always either be x equals some value or y equals some value. The plot the vertex is h and k. Okay, it should always, it's a point. Same thing with the focus. The focus should be a point, an x and y value. This is kind of a key thing. We'll see this in a minute. From the focus, you're going to go 2p left or right, or 2p up and down. That helps give shape. Helps give the proper shape to the parabola. Okay? So, and then you're going to connect those 3 points. The 3 points being the vertex, and then those 2 points that you get from going from the focus. Okay, so let's go through and do a couple of these real quick. Not sure if we'll go through all of them. Let's start here. All right, this is not, so find the standard form equation. This is not in standard form. This is in the form that you're used to it, but standard form would be x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. So let's kind of write it that way. So we can't have any kind of a coefficient from the x squared. So we're going to multiply this by -4 to both sides. That gives me -4y equals x squared. All right, and let's just switch this around so it's sort of in this. I want to, this would be then x squared equals negative 4y. Now, just for kicks, I'm going to write this out. So this is good. This is standard form. Okay, so this would be our standard form. And I'm just doing this for silliness. Technically, okay. So since we have no, nothing added or subtracted to x or y, that's because we're at the origin. So it would look like that. So we talk about our vertex, which is our h and our k. Okay, that's going to be, we're at the origin, so it's right here. There's our vertex. Now, the next question is it horizontal or vertical? Well, we're used to this, and this is a, if we have x squared, okay, that means that it is a vertical, or axis of symmetry. So x squared means it's vertical. So our axis of symmetry is going to be x equals some value, and in this case it's x equals 0. So I'll go ahead and just okay, x equals 0, that's my axis of symmetry. Now I need to do my, so my vertex we got, my axis we got, I need my focus. So for my focus is going to be p units from my center. So I need to figure out what that p units is. What are the p units? So looking up here, so whatever value is outside of here is 4p. So here I have negative 4 outside of here. So I'm going to go 4p equals negative 4, so p equals negative 1. So my focus, so now p is negative 1, which means that, since it's negative 1, it's opening down, and it's going down 1. So my focus is going to be right here. There's my focus. Okay, this is my vertex. So my focus is at the point 0, negative 1. I don't know why I did do that green here. Focus. Okay, now my directrix is on the opposite direction, or opposite side of the vertex. Directrix is going to be y equals 1, because it's this value right here. Y equals 1. That's my directrix. Now, to get my shape, so I have my focus, I have my directrix. To get my shape, because I'm going to graph it, I'm going to remember to do that 2p. So the last thing I'm going to do here is, go to the focus, and in this case, I'm going to go 2p left and right. So I go here and I go, p is 1, so I go 1, 2, I go 1, 2. Okay, that helps me get my shape of my parabola. Okay, kind of. Okay, that one was pretty straightforward. Okay, now we're looking at an equation that is in the general form, just general form of remember what that is. That's ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Okay, so what do I notice? What can I say? Well, I notice that I don't have an x squared. I don't have a b, but none of these do. So I don't have an x squared. So what that tells me is that I know I have a parabola. I'm going to have a parabola when either a or c equals 0. In this case, a equals 0. That tells me I have a parabola. okay? And let's see, my standard form, and I have y squared here, so y squared is going to be y minus k squared equals 4px minus h. So I want to get anything that doesn't have to do with a y to the other side. So this is going to be y squared minus 2y equals 2x plus 3. Okay. I'm going to complete the square. We do that all throughout this. Negative 2y plus 1 equals 2x plus 3 plus 1. This is y minus 1 squared equals 2x plus 4. Now again, I need to have it in this sort of format. So I'm going to say y minus 1 squared equals, I'm going to factor out the 2, give x plus 2. All right, so I have my vertex. My vertex is negative 2, 1, right? H, K. So negative 2 and 1 is my vertex. Okay, I need my focus. I need my P. So I need my focus, and I need my directrix. This value here, I'm going to go 4p equals 2, so p equals 1/2. Y is, since this is y squared, this is going to be a, yeah, since this is y squared, it's going to be a horizontal. Right, so my axis of symmetry, oops. Now my directrix, this is my AOS, which is y equals 1. Okay, so, and it's positive, so I'm going to go, my focus then is going to be negative, instead of being negative 2, it's going to be negative 1.5 and 1. So there's my focus. Focus, vertex. My directrix, I'm so sloppy, oops, is going to be x equals negative 2.5. It's going to be right here. Okay. My 2p is going to be 2 times 1/2 equals 1. So I'm going to go to my focus. Go to my focus, I'm going to go up 1, down 1, and then for my vertex, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. All right, real quickly, find the standard form equation of the parabola given this information. Draw a picture. So let's just do a real fast sketch. We come in here and we say, okay, vertex is at 1, 3. There's my vertex. My focus is at 1, 5. There's my focus. So obviously this is a vertical. So this is going to be x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. It's vertical. And it's going to be, it's positive. Since the focus is inside, it's positive. And my p here is 2, right? Because this is 1, 3. And this is 1, 5, so it's 2. So p equals 2. So I just have to go, let's see, x minus 1 squared equals 4 times 2. And this is y minus 5. So x minus 1 squared equals 8, y minus 5. That's all I wanted. Last one, same thing. Vertex is at negative 2, 1. There's my vertex. My directrix is at x equals 1. Okay, so that makes my P 3. And my focus then is 3. So my focus is out here. My focus is going to be negative 5, 1. So since I was at negative 2 and I went negative 3, my P is actually P equals negative 3 because it's from vertex to focus, right? Okay, so so this is going to be opening left. It's going to be y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. So we have y, my vertex y minus 1 equals 4 negative 3 x plus 2. So y minus 1